High volume or low volume? Which one actually builds more muscle? Walk into almost any gym, and you'll see completely different training styles. One lifter is doing 6 exercises for chest with 4 sets each. Another does just 2 exercises and leaves after 45 minutes. Both are trying to build muscle, but only one approach can be better, right? Or is the answer more complicated than that? Today, we're comparing high volume and low volume training. We'll look at what the science says, who benefits from each approach, and how to know which one is best for you. Let's start with the basics. Training volume simply refers to how much work you perform. For hypertrophy, it's usually measured by the number of hard sets you perform for each muscle group every week. Notice something important. We're talking about hard sets, not warm-up sets, not easy sets, not sets where you stop 5 or 6 reps before failure. Quality matters. Now let's define our 2 approaches. Low-volume training usually means performing fewer hard sets, while focusing on maximum quality and effort. High-volume training means performing more hard sets with the goal of increasing the total stimulus. At first, it seems obvious that if one hard set builds muscle, wouldn't 10 sets build 10 times more? Not exactly, because your body doesn't respond in a straight line. Think about sunlight. Too little, nothing happens. The right amount, you get the benefits. Too much, you get burned. Training volume works in a surprisingly similar way. Adding more quality sets generally increases muscle growth, up to a point, but eventually, each additional set produces smaller and smaller benefits. Meanwhile, fatigue continues to rise. That's why more volume isn't automatically better. Now let's talk about low volume training. Many people underestimate how effective it can be. If every working set is performed with focus, good technique, and close proximity to failure, you can stimulate a surprising amount of muscle growth, especially if you're a beginner or an intermediate lifter. Remember, muscles don't count sets. They respond to mechanical tension. A few high-quality sets can outperform many mediocre ones. Now let's look at high-volume training. Can it build more muscle? Yes, sometimes, but there's a catch. You have to recover from it. More sets create more fatigue, more muscle damage, greater recovery demands. If your nutrition, sleep, or stress management aren't good enough, extra volume may actually reduce your performance. That's why copying a professional bodybuilder's training often doesn't work. They may recover differently. Some have decades of experience, some have exceptional genetics, and some are using performance-enhancing drugs. Their optimal volume may not be yours. Now let's discuss one of the biggest mistakes people make. They confuse more volume with more effort. Imagine 2 lifters. The first performs 10 hard sets for chest. Every set is focused. Every set is close to failure. The second performs 20 sets, but half of them are easy. Half are rushed. Half are done after fatigue has already destroyed performance. Who do you think gets the better stimulus? Probably the first lifter, because quality always comes before quantity. Now here's another important point. Recovery determines how much volume you can benefit from. If you're sleeping 8 hours every night, eating enough protein, managing stress, and recovering well, you'll probably tolerate more volume. If you're sleeping 5 hours, working long shifts, and constantly feeling exhausted, even moderate volume might be too much. That's why there's no universal number of sets. Your recovery capacity is part of the equation. Now let's talk about frequency. Some people train a muscle once a week. Others train it 3 times. Does frequency matter? Yes, but mostly because it helps you distribute volume. Instead of doing 15 chest sets in one workout, you might perform 7 sets on Monday and 8 on Thursday. The weekly volume stays almost identical, but the quality of each set often improves because you're less fatigued. Now let's answer a question many people ask. How do you know if you're doing too much volume? Here are a few signs. Your strength stops improving. You're constantly sore. Your workouts feel worse every week. Your motivation drops. And despite spending more time in the gym, your results stay the same. Those are strong indicators that adding even more sets probably isn't the solution. Now let's flip the question. How do you know if you're doing too little? Your workouts finish and you barely feel challenged. You're recovering perfectly, but your performance never improves. You're leaving the gym with plenty left in the tank every single session. That could mean you simply need a little more stimulus. Notice what's happening here. Neither high volume nor low volume is automatically better. They're simply tools. The best choice depends on your experience, your recovery, your schedule, and how hard you're actually training. Now let's answer the original question. High volume versus low volume. Which builds more muscle? For most people, both can be highly effective. The winner isn't determined by the number of sets. It's determined by whether you can recover, progress, and consistently perform high-quality training. Because the goal isn't to do as much work as possible. The goal is to do the right amount of effective work. Train hard, recover well, adjust your volume when necessary, and let your progress, not social media, tell you whether you need more or less. Because in the end, the lifter who consistently trains with quality will almost always outperform the one who's simply doing more. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to put the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and let me know in the comment. Do you grow better with high volume or low volume training? And I'll see you in the next one.